listen to this. You can put it on and just go through it without.
Before you
next
know
thing
it,
you know, it's like, what happened?
It's over. I know. It's true. It's so true. And part of that is because of just these last 3 tracks.
Yes,
man.
yes.
You know.
Yes, because they just carry you out.
Just flawless, just seamlessly, from here to the end.
It's a short 11 minutes here.
It is. It's a journey. It's a journey. And the guitars and the it's like Hackett and Rutherford are both playing the guitars here, and of course
they love their 12 strings.
I think Mike is holding down the Taurus bass pedal too, maybe. Yes. It's a big Taurus bass pedal. I love the bass line in this one.
Sweet. Goes up to the next note.
Same melody, change keys. This is mature, sophisticated composition techniques.
Timpani.
Yes. I love this in here.
Yeah.
Again, we change key again.
That's his ARP soloist. He loved the hell out of that thing. ARP soloist keyboard.
It's
great closer.
Oh, those Taurus bass pedals right there.
Like the dust that settles all around me, I must find a new home. The ways and hopes that used to give me shelter are all as one to me now. But I would search everywhere
I love this line.
just to hear your call.
Walk upon stranger roads in this
Walk
one.
upon stranger roads through this one.
In a world I used to know before.
I used to know before. I miss you more than the sun reflecting off my pillow, bringing the warmth of new life, and the sounds that echoed all around me. I caught a glimpse of in the night.
Beats, man, the harmony.
But now I've lost everything I give to you, my soul. The meaning of all that I believed before escapes me in this world of none, no thing, no one.
I love this key changing.
And I would search everywhere just to hear your call, and walk upon stranger roads than this one in a world I used to know before. For now I've lost everything I give to you, my soul. The meaning of all that I believed before escapes me in this world of love. I miss you more.
The vocals. Such a great closer, man.
That's some of my favorite Banks lyrics, really.
They are some really cool lyrics, man.
You know, and I don't know exactly what they mean, but they feel they can mean so many different things and in such a subtle way. You know, he was the romantic, man. He was just the ultimate. You know, Banks was like so quiet. I mean, that was one thing that Hackett said and Phil said when they joined the band. Was like, you know, Banks was just this quiet guy. They didn't know what to think of him. You know, Peter was outgoing and Mike was pretty, you know, outgoing.
And Phil was probably a clown.
No, Phil was a clown, yeah. So,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
but
Yeah.
these lyrics, you know, that's just fantastic.
Now I've lost everything. I give you
but
my
but
soul.
I would search everywhere just to hear your call. That's
Yes.
you know, that's like the ultimate. You are my world. Whatever that's. It kind of goes back to what we're talking. In your eyes, it's God.
Yeah. Good. Yes.
Human love, either way.
Yes. This is I give to you my soul. Right. I've lost everything and give to you my soul. It's like give it up. I'm giving it up to God. I got faith. Because that's all I've got.
Yeah.
And yeah. So.
And Phil's vocals, man, such a growth in this whole album from his vocals. I think is one of his best vocal performances overall. This.
Oh my God.
Just because the way he picked his harmonies. Actually, that last it almost reminded me of like a Jeff Lynne type thing. Vocal production at times in there.
Yes,
even,
just so thick, just layers and layers of just He's his own choir in there. I mean. I have a hard time distinguishing in that song particularly between what is Tony doing on his Mellotron choir and Phil doing on his multi-track vocals.
And you look, I was looking at a lot of his rigs at the time, and I can't. So right here on his right, I think is an Echoplex. And he would use that, and when you see it from a different angle, that would be around his. He would use that on his Mellotron and his keyboards a lot, just to give it a fullness and everything. Because if you listen to Mellotron straight up, it's pretty dry and simple when you hear the strings. But he just throws all this chorus and all these echoes on it too, and he did that on a lot of his keyboards, like on his ARP,
his organ,
his organ as well. Yeah, he just ran everything through something, and he'd run his piano through a fuzz box and in fact, when Hackett left and they were trying to do it, he would play a lot. They got Sturmer on board, Daryl Sturmer on board to play,
live.
Yeah, play live and everything. But he would play a lot of, his piano through fuzz boxes just to make it sound like a guitar more, stuff like that. So, and he did that live in the early stages too. So he always had what you're hearing is not all just the keyboards. It's just. He did so much. He was just a sound developer, a sound designer, and he never considered himself a lead player. He would just play these melodies, but he'd put so much stuff on it, it'd sound just full.
I mean, you mentioned earlier that he doesn't really play lead, but he plays several leads on this, on that instrumental there. And Unquiet Slumbers.
I mean, he's never for show.
No, you're right. It's not about fireworks.
Right.
Although he
oh
yeah. So he gets all it. He gets all over it. He does.
Right.
And he can. But yeah, you're right. It's not, I don't know, Wakeman. I've never been a huge Wakeman fan.
No.
He definitely had technical chops, right? But he was okay. Now let's let with even with Yes is like, okay, now let's let Rick play now.
Yeah, there was times I thought Wick was actually kind of distracting, to tell you the truth, on some of those compositions where there's never anything out of place.
No.
There's never
No.
And there was always melodies. In fact, there would be a lot of times where him and Tony or him and Mike or him and Steve would be playing, doubling up. He would double up a lot himself, or he would just play this melody on two different things before they had MIDI and all that stuff. But and he would also, when technology came in, he would use it.
He picked right up on it. He got an emulator right off. Right. I remember he had an emulator. Yeah.
He got an ARP. He loved ARP, but he got an ARP Odyssey. To do do a lot of those things. So he had a Prophet 10.
Yes, that's right. Yes, Prophet 10.
Right.
He was one of the few that had a Prophet 10.
Right.
A lot of people had Prophet 5s.
Right.
Yes. But he was that was his thing, man. He was about, okay, let's get multiple parts going, right? So he needed if he'd had this is one dude, if he'd had four hands, he wouldn't have needed a band, right?
Well, yeah. But maybe that's the contention of this whole album.
Maybe so. Yeah.
But that album got me through a lot of winners.
Yeah, totally. Me too. And it still does. Like I say, I listen to this album at least once a year. And I'm 57 now, so yeah, I've listened to this album a lot. So.
And you're still learning the lyrics. Well, they mixed them low. They mix Phil pretty low. I think it's hard to tell exactly. I mean, even I'm looking at the lyrics and I go, I never would have thought he said that. You know, a lot of times, you know.
Yeah, and to me, the way Phil is mixed is just like one of the other instruments, and I love that about this. Is one of the things I love about this.
Right.
These, especially these two albums, but I guess really this one. You know, that he's another instrument, and he harmonizes with himself. So it's like, okay, well, you know, I'm gonna be mixed low, so I'm gonna put like 5 parts together here, and I'll have my own little harmony part going. So,
yeah,
you know,
pretty amazing. Pretty amazing combination of talent and time. The time of this album, you know, everything
fell together, man.
Fell together just right.
Yep. I agree. Great combination of players, technology. It was a little early in the technology for me. 76. This was right at the beginning of this is when, to me, synthesizers, you know, were.
Well, they weren't manageable. You know, synthesizers were the big Moogs and the big ARPs. You know, Keith Emerson would do it. You know, but you know they weren't easy to take with you anywhere.
And they were always going out of tune and stuff. Right. And so you're right. They weren't easy to play to lug along live. But I mean, just the recordings, right? I mean, just hearing those sounds. You know, I mean, this is some of the stuff that made me fall in love with synthesizers. You know?
Yeah.
And then the combination of that and the harmonies and just.
Yet it never sounded like a synth album. So, you know, to me, it doesn't sound like synthesizers to me. And when I hear that ARP lead, I don't think of it. I don't think of it as a synthesizer personally.
I don't know. I mean, I do. I definitely do. But it's just that one of the things that I fell in love. One of the reasons I fell in love with synthesizers. You know, so I don't know.
Okay.
It's such a beautiful sound. Beautiful sound. Whatever you call it. You know?
All right.
So.
We're gonna leave the pastures. We're gonna leave those pastures.
Yeah, that was a beautiful one. And so what's next on the slate?
We're going to leave those pastures and go to the pastures on the island of Iceland.
Iceland, yes.
We're going to do our
Sigur Rós.
probably a handful of Sigur Rós albums.
Yeah.
Again, we don't do our favorite stuff maybe right away, but I thought I'd throw this. This was actually my introduction to Sigur Rós because I didn't get into them till later on.
Right.
So this is my introduction to them. Okay. Young kids with their butts
hanging out. Yep. Kids being kids, man.
But this will be an interesting visit.
Yeah, they're a cool band, man. They got some cool stuff going on. Anyway, thanks for joining us today. Click that subscribe button and the like and the bell and all that kind of YouTube-y stuff.
Ding, 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 ding.
Anyway, let's see. His name is Del.
And his name is Keith.
And we are Renjeaux, and we listen to cool albums, and we'll see you guys next time, you know.